Hey guys, what's up and welcome to the Taurus reading. So you'll notice the setup is a lot different. I figure I have this beautiful room that I always film in, and I just kind of cleaned it up a little and figured I would use that as a background. So let's see. Today we're using the Mystical Shaman Oracle and the Wizard's Tarot. I'll try to display what I'm using because sometimes like the backs don't always coincide. The backs of the cards don't always coincide with the boxes if anyone goes looking for them. Okay, so you've got Lightning and the Mystical Shaman. This is kind of giving me like a Thor vibe already. So let's see. Okay, what do we have for Taurus? Show me energy for Taurus, please. Taurus, you might feel like you're in a bit of a spotlight right now. Like you're kind of in a hot seat almost, where people are looking to you. Like you're heavily involved in I don't know, maybe a project or creating something. It just seems like a lot of eyes are on you, and it might make you feel uncomfortable. It doesn't seem like it's that people are celebrating you. It kind of actually seems like people might be, it might feel like people are judging you, or it might feel like when people are looking at you, you don't want to mess up and stuff, but I actually really believe your energy coming out today is where you're the leader, you're making decisions, you're paving a way forward, everyone else is witnessing you. They're witnessing what it looks like to just make decisions that are true to you. Maybe you're around a lot of people who just generally don't do that, like live their authentic truth. But I do feel like you're doing that, and it feels almost like it's put you in opposition. But I don't know that it feels great. But I think that you'll come out the other end of this and people are going to be like, wow, I really can appreciate how Taurus navigated this, because it seems like something where you're sticking true to your guns, you're being authentic, you're being real, and other people don't see a way through it yet. But your energy keeps asking you to just live in that truth. And I do think it's paying off for you, and I do think that people will recognize it eventually. It's just something that I think they're not used to doing themselves, so it's like weird when they see it. But yeah, Taurus, you got some good energy coming out here. And what's interesting is you're starting off with like the 5 of Cups here, where it kind of seems like maybe you feel like there is a loss, or you feel like people aren't like something's unable to be salvaged, you know? Like maybe you have to leave some people behind. Maybe you have to go about something alone. Maybe you even are just witnessing like the things you wanted to work for you aren't working for you anymore. I feel like you're in your own energy about that though. And there's so much power behind you. There's so much power behind knowing that this is the right path for you, even though it's like it's difficult and it's painful. And there's a lot of clarity that's coming with it about the people around you and the things that you're involved with. But I don't think that it's like a happy clarity. I think it probably feels good to have clarity, but I do also think that there's some kind of grieving happening, or there's some kind of like needing to let go of just certain things aren't working for you anymore, and you're kind of done fighting yourself, and now you might be kind of like in opposition to other people because you're no longer fighting yourself. I really like this row. um, Here you have coming out the Eight of Wands, which is just like a big source of inspiration, and it's sitting next to the Queen of Wands, which is lovely energy. You're feeling inspired, you're path paving, you're doing something you've never done before, you're stepping into your own skin and feeling more comfortable doing that the more that you practice it. You're aware that you have flaws. You're aware that it's not always going to be the right move or be the move that works for everyone, but you're still doing it. Like, you're really convinced that you just need to be able to make these independent decisions. And for whatever reason, something's been happening to where you've only been able to like witness other people do that, or you've only been able to like witness silently what you want and what you need. And now you're in a time where you're just going for it. You have the Six of Pentacles here. So it's like you have this really beautiful progression of being able to have this inspired action, take that action, stand in your truth, stand in your power no matter what. Like, have the humility to have those tough conversations when you need to, but also not back down on what you're asking, or what you're saying is your limit, your line, I'm not tolerating this because I have actually other things that I want to do, and this is draining my energy, my power, and I just no longer wish to engage in that way. It's a simple, clear, and concise ask that you're presenting, or maybe it's more than a suggestion because it doesn't look like you're giving up on that. And it's just fueled by you getting your needs met too, and you finally like kind of being generous with yourself instead of overly generous with everyone else, to the point where you might actually end up at war with yourself instead of just setting boundaries, setting limits. Like, it's okay to do that, right? And then we have you entering this stage of the Empress, where you are kind of more able to focus on the things that you choose to focus on. Maybe the delicacies of life, the detail, in here, she's depicted as having like her little cakes and her treats and her books, and just enjoying the fantasies of life and the fantastical parts of life. While she looks out at a garden and really sees this vision unfolding and this opportunity before her, and something that she's like gearing up to go put energy towards. So it does look like a lot of this feels like maybe you feel uncomfortable starting on this path because you're being asked to put your foot down and chase a dream instead of chase practicality. When it comes to other people and what they're asking you to do, what they're saying is practical for them, but it's no longer practical for you, and you've made that decision, and you're allowed to. It almost seems like that feels like the hard part, though. Or that's the new part, is putting your foot down and saying, I choose me this time. Like, for once, I'm just choosing myself, and I'm allowed to do that, and it feels good, and it feels better than when I choose what I think everyone else wants for me, or what they tell me they want for me. I think that it might feel like it's the hardest part, but it's really not even the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is that you're building some kind of path of prosperity for yourself, and this is just you learning to set boundaries to protect that dream or vision. It really has nothing to do with like excuse me, it has nothing to do with this idea that you are always going to be facing an uphill battle. People are never going to listen to you or respect you the first time you ask. Like, that's all. You're in the fray. You're in the fray of it. And I think you've been there for a hot minute, Taurus. Like a hot minute. Like your whole life. I think you've felt like you've operated in the fray where you have to constantly sacrifice what you do want for what you think you have to do regarding other people around you. And in this fray, I think this is what this line is coming out to say is like, once you set your boundaries, you're actually free to just do what you want. You're teaching people how to treat you. You're teaching people that you won't tolerate them even being around you if they don't have human decency and respect for another person, especially if they care about them, if they love them, if they value them, you know. You're setting limits and they're now being heard because you won't tolerate them not being heard. I think this is kind of telling me about what you felt like in the fray. So when I say fray, I just mean like, you know, the little tassels and stuff that start, the threads that start unwinding on the edge of like a piece of clothing or a blanket or something, where it kind of looks all tattered and seams start coming apart. It's almost like you feel like you've been trapped in that and you want the warmth of the blanket. You want the wholesomeness, the I can pick this up and like curl up with it, or I can wear these clothes and they don't look like rags. They're how I preserved them, you know, or they're whatever. So maybe you're increasing something about your appearance or your style, or you're kind of cleaning things up maybe. That could also be in a physical sense, because it looks like you're also cleaning up your relationships. And so sorry, I was getting a text. So it seems like you're doing kind of this whole clean out, cleansing energy of documenting everything that's going on in your life and trying to figure out what you do want to put there, and throwing like you're making sure your arrow's pointed at that instead of sacrificing all of that so that you can do everything else, right? While you've been in this energy, though, it's almost like you keep having to tell yourself to get back up and do it. That like something good is around the corner, something good is going to change. There's going to be like a turn of events in your favor. Maybe you've battled depression. Maybe you've been battling shorter and shorter stints of depression and coming out of it a lot quicker and coming out of it a lot clearer. I wonder, Taurus, if you've kind of like had this sense of clarity paired with this sense of my depression isn't really like because I'm just depressed. My anxiety isn't just because I'm just anxious. Like it keeps coming from expectations around me, and I really need to just do what's best for me at this point, because I don't think that that's all pressure I'm putting on myself internally, but I think you have recognized at some point it's pressure that you've adopted from others and it just no longer serves you. And you feel like a lot freer and lighter when you can constantly set these boundaries. But I do feel like you have to do a lot of self-care and like revitalizing yourself and giving yourself energy, whether that's physical or like mental or emotional or spiritual. It's like you have to keep pouring into your bucket because the things in your life are not doing that. Or at least like a lot of things that you can point out in your life are not doing that. So you keep having this sense of, look at that, Seven of Swords. Any relationships where you have to question them and it makes you kind of question yourself and kind of be like, you know, where do I stand with this person? It kind of feels like they're tricking me. They're getting away with something. They're being quite sneaky about something. It's like you're just walking away from that. The Eight of Cups is a beautiful energy to have when this card comes out, because it's just like, I'm just walking away from it. I don't need you to prove to me for the next 5 to 10 years that that's going to be your energy and you're not going to change. I just needed to see it once. I just needed to see it a few times. I just needed to be clear that I don't like that and that I'm walking away from that. So it does seem like there's just so much energy drained from you when you get to this point of realizing that your environment isn't serving you anymore. And I actually think that you're gonna have like this really cool turn of events happen for you, where the more that you set these boundaries and the more that you really like prioritize you and what it is you're wanting, this vision, kind of creating something out of nothing, having some kind of creative energy, having a youthful spirit about something new. It's like it's an adventure to you. It's exciting. It's not overwhelming and overbearing, and like you have a naturally sustained endurance to keep going through this because it gives back to you. It lights up your life in some way, or it lets you shine, and then you have like this purpose that you're using. And I think that overall just feels better than what has been happening. So yeah, I see that as you work through this kind of fray, I'll call it, is as you work through these energies where you're really trying to like sift through how to say no, where to set a boundary, when to set a boundary, and just lean into that more and more until people hear you. Like, don't back down from it. The more that you're embodying that energy, the more you actually come off so charming, so sweet, so loving, wanting to engage with others, wanting to even maybe apologize for certain things that you're noticing, or accept apologies a lot easier because your boundaries aren't being all walked over. More like willing to forgive and have conversations that are like heart to hearts instead of just mitigating the damage. It's really like there's repair that comes in, there's a vulnerability that comes in, there's openness, and there can be creativity and love in that. But right now, or maybe not right now, maybe the kind of phase of your life that you're really working through is that you just kind of shut down, and then you don't really know what to do, and then your dreams kind of dwindle because you don't have energy to put towards them, even though you're realizing now that is your choice. Um, and that's something that you would choose to do again and again and again over just be drained by, people who don't respect adult boundaries. So, let's see what our time is. Can I see it? It's kind of blocking, but I don't think we're in the teens yet. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read these two cards at the top here, number 38 and number 30. And then we will be done with the reading. Thank you so much for being here, Taurus. And thanks for being someone who pursues your passions and doesn't take no from this world, because it lights other people's candles, or it shows them that theirs can be lit when it feels like it's just been extinguished. This is the symbol of the myth maker and storyteller who is neither made of nor defined by the story. Instead, he observes it, evolves through it, perceives all aspects of it. In doing so, the mystical shaman represents the ability to dream a new story, a new myth into being. He dances between worlds, wearing the cloak of the world loosely around his shoulders, and sings the world into being. He reminds us to be in the world and travel through it, but not to be defined by it or become too attached to the experience. This is the symbol of true alchemy, for all elements of life have a spiritual aspect and a material one. When we remember this, all manner of miracles and manifestations are possible. When the mystical shaman appears, you're invited to consider the ability to live without attachment. You are called to create and dream your life, to act on inspiration and divine impulse without fixating on a known story of success or achievement. Can you impartially observe the stories you tell yourself and others? What if you could become a mystery to yourself? Who would you become if you stopped telling the tales that have defined you up until now? You do not have to live in a story that has roots in the past. What if there were no need to explain you to anyone, not even to yourself? The way to your most extraordinary life is to become a blank slate and allow the form of your dreams and desires to show up as it will. This is a sign of manifesting a life beyond your wildest dreams. Love that for you. You have lightning, number 30. The formidable electrical discharge of a lightning bolt brightens the sky and strikes the earth, accompanied by the mighty sound of thunder. This phenomenon has a positive aspect. Ooh, some of you guys have a really strong partner, or like you're a part of a power couple or something, where when you two are on the same page, things just manifest really quickly. Or wholly, without a whole lot of, obstacle or struggle behind that. Having it be accompanied by the mighty sound of thunder makes me think that this is you, and your partner is more. I wonder if thunder's next. Let's see. I kind of want to read. Let's see if thunder's in here. It is. I'm going to read thunder, and I think it's actually for a partner that you have or a partner that is coming into your life. So let's see. The formidable electrical discharge of a lightning bolt brightens the sky and strikes the earth, accompanied by the mighty sound of thunder. This phenomenon has a positive aspect. The light illuminates the earth and the psyche, but there is a destructive side as well. The bolt can burn and even kill if it's too strong. The forces of the upper world are investing their gathered energies to ignite you with new inspiration and creativity. Allow this divine gift of awakening to take root in your being and enjoy a renewed sense of clarity, passion, and vision. Life has gifted you with a destiny that is in alignment with your passion and in harmony with all existence on earth. Try to beat that. Now, lightning has come to jolt you into accepting your destiny. Let this initiation release what is in the way of your fulfilling your life purpose. Otherwise, you'll be bound to your karmic fate. This is a time to be courageous and daring. Okay, and then thunder was number like 50 something. 56. I thought that was it. Wait. Oh, it's number 56. I thought it was on page 56. Okay, so thunder. I think this is your partner, Taurus. And maybe they're not awake yet because we don't have the card and it's in black and white, and I don't have like color to put to it. Maybe they're still making these decisions for themselves. Legends speak of great thunder beings who live in the sky and call for your attention when great occurrences are meant to happen in the world. They warn when tensions in a situation are called upon to be released. Their presence in your reading reminds you of the dramatic moments in life that change everything. Both awesome and frightening when thunder arrives, it is also a wake-up call, one that you will not soon forget. I wonder if someone that you're with is like needing to let go of something. Like a fight that might feel like it has a dead end. I don't know. But it doesn't say that. It's just, I'm wondering. When thunder comes into your reading, it refers to a big dramatic change that feels like a herd of wild bison on the run. You feel it right through your bones, and you know that you are powerless to influence whatever events have been set in motion. This is a time to be prepared for anything. Your life is an adventure, and wonderful opportunities are arriving now. The trick is to learn to run with them. Qualities that you'll need now more than ever are flexibility, dexterity, and willingness to experience it all without dictating from where or in what form opportunities will come. Your destiny is arriving. Be ready. Do you feel like unnecessary drama is waylaying your life? Could you be exhausted from listening to others tell you their never-ending victim story, or could you be telling yourself a version of the same? It's time for an about face. You're being warned that to continue on this path will cause you to regret your choices, even if they appear benign or familiar. It's time to say no to drama, both yours and others. Focus on solutions rather than problems. You are worthy of a drama-free life. So that is your reading, Taurus. I hope you guys enjoyed, and stay tuned for the Gemini one. All right, bye.